I know, folks, your boy, Marcos on 225 numbers after the name. A little Wasteland and Wednesday action over here, man. A little murder game, a little kill confirmed. How about that Black Ops 4 beta, though? Woo! As you probably know, if you're watching any other videos, I've actually been out of the country for most of this month, so I pre-recorded all these guys. You're going to see no Black Ops 4 beta. I'm going in blind this year, man. Going in blind this year, and I'm cool with it. I'm honestly pretty cool with it. I'm going to watch some beta footage. I want to see some of the impressions of people about the beta. It's a shame, too, because I wouldn't have mind playing the beta this year, man. Like, for World War II, I kind of knew I was going to like it and knew I was going to play it. I was only really interested in the time to kill in World War II. That was my kind of only thing that I was like, all right, let's see what Sledgehammer does. But the fact we went back to boots on the ground, stuff like that, I was like, all right, I'm all in. I'm like, I don't really need anything else. I got it. In World War II setting, perfect. I'm sold. But Black Ops 4, still boots on the ground for the most part. I think there's, we got the grappling hook and whatnot, but everything else is pretty much boots on the ground. We got some of the specialists returning over there. We got some doing some abilities, all that jazz. And then we have the notion that it's gonna be a little bit more, team oriented, right? Where you can only have one specialist per team, and you got to pick them beforehand, and it's 5v5 and not 6v6. Little stuff like that. That you're kind of like, all right, small tweaks, still should be good. The minimap changes, the health, that kind of stuff. I don't like the minimap change. I'm perfectly cool with the health. I think I'm gonna like the health thing a lot. It adds a whole nother level to like another mechanic over there, and I like the fact that I will be able to control my health kind of thing when I like kind of heal and when I don't heal. I think it's gonna be pretty good. I think there's gonna be a lot of chances you'll see on the channel where I get hit, I get popped, shoot a couple bullets into the dude, hide on the wall, heal up, and then finish the guy off, and maybe he hasn't even like reacted to it yet or something like that. So I'm excited for the healing mechanic. I hope I'm not disappointed by it. I hope it's I hope I could do what I just said. I hope it's not like a time to kill, but they added more like life to it, so I know the time to kill is like longer than in previous games, so we'll kind of see how that plays out over here. So that part I'm not really too interested in, or I'm not like necessarily dying to see. But the pick of the specialist thing, I've always been curious about that. I haven't watched like a full game, like like a lobby or anything like that, so I've been curious, like how much time do I have to pick them? Like, am I gonna get screwed over from getting like the specialist that I want every single time? 'Cause that would suck. Like, I really would just be disappointed in that. Like, if I want to play as the medic, and some other dude's always playing as the medic, and he ain't even doing his job right, then like, what the hell are we doing over here? 'Cause it's always been, especially for me. I mean, I roll with the captain sometimes, I roll with a couple other people sometimes. Captain mainly, but some other times I roll with some other crew. But like, I also play by myself a lot, and I enjoy going in rogue and like putting in that work. I notice it sometimes. Like, I play a lot of war with the captain over here in this game, man. We kill it, right? Top dog in it, murder game, all that jazz. But I'll get like 40 kills, he'll get like 40 kills. And then I'll go play by myself, and I'll get like 70 kills. And I'm like, oh, I was like, damn. I was like, oh, that's right. There's like 40 other people like alive over here that I could kill. So I enjoy like going in there and putting in the work by myself sometimes. I'm nervous as to what that looks like in Black Ops 4. I think it'll still be there. I think Call of Duty kind of understands that most people play their game by themselves, so why would they want to ruin it? But adding these cooperative elements to it, I'm curious to see how that kind of plays out. The minimap changes, I don't think I'm gonna like them, but I talked about this a couple videos ago where I play very heavy on the minimap, and too heavy sometimes. When you kind of look at it and you think like, alright, you got this beautifully fleshed out game, 60 frames per second, 4K, well, I guess not 4K graphics, but HD graphics, running smooth, all that jazz, and I spend most of my time looking at like red dots on a map. Yeah, I'm not doing that right, but it gives you a good advantage, and I enjoy it. I don't know what that looks like in Black Ops 4, and maybe it's more of an advantage, right? Maybe if you like play it right and the recon guy does his job right and all that jazz, you see the map and the other team doesn't, and then you can play it that way. Or maybe the UAV is just going to become a staple that you always need to have. I don't know. We'll kind of see. But those are the kind of stuff I'd be curious to try out in the beta. Time to kill is always a big one to me. Time to kill is really the #1 key going into any new Call of Duty that I'm curious about. What's your time to kill like? Is it time to kill like Modern Warfare 2 where like you literally just go and somebody dies? Or is your time to kill like Black Ops 1 where you could actually get shot, sit down for a coffee, come back, talk to the guy real quick and be like, alright, you want to run this back? Alright, cool. And then do that. I always lean more towards Black Ops 1-ish, but I did realize that the longer the time to kill, the more propensity there is for lag and lag compensation, all that kind of jazz. World War II's time to kill was okay. I feel like it was still on the shorter side, which is why you don't see too many like ridiculous like streaks out of me over in this game. I mean, I put in my like relentless and my brutal, like I know those, but it's not like to me as consistent as it used to be because of the time to kill, right? Because I'll get like 2 or 3 people, and it's not only the time to kill, it's the time to heal, which is I'm very curious about. With the new health mechanic, how quickly I can pull that off, because I think it'll be significantly quicker than in this game. The time to heal is crazy slow in this game. I'll pop like 1 or 2 dudes, get hit a couple times, because hey, I mean they have guns too, right? They have bullets, they can hit me. And then I'll like have to like be sitting there for like 5 seconds being like, well, sure hope nobody shows up around me, because I'm hurt. That I've never been 100% about, and that's why I think it's kind of how they sold you on the health regen mechanic. That's why I like the idea of the health regen mechanic, where you now can control that. So you now don't have to like have this artificial cap by the game telling you, okay, you got hit, you had 100 health, you got hit 60 health. It's gonna take, you only have 40. It's gonna take to get those 60 back 6 seconds. So, 1 second every 10th, something like that. These numbers are thrown out here. I'm not saying these are accurate in any way. But that's kind of how the game logic works out. It's like, all right, you got hit this quickly by this amount of much. It's going to take you this time to reload or to kind of get your health back for the regen. Yeah, that's all artificially made, and it all like slows down the game over there. And now we won't have that, so that's cool. I think we'll see. So I'm not too crazy about the fact that I missed the beta. I'm curious to see like kind of how it played out. I hope it went very well and all that jazz. I think from what I heard, there was going to be a pretty good selection of maps coming out for it. That's cool. I'm curious to see what the final maps look like. I like the fact that in the final game we're going to get jungle, we're going to get those like classic ones. I think it's maybe like even 6 of those classic maps, something like that coming back. That's cool. I'm all for that. Big fan of that. But I hope that doesn't mean that we're going to get like 12 maps total, like, and 6 of them are remakes and 6 of them are new. Like, that to me is a problem. Like, we should still get, like, this game should come out with, I mean, honestly, it should come out with, like, 18. It should come out with 12 new maps and the 6 classic ones. And that's 18. And that's a lot of maps. But I feel like one of the things that hurt World War II a lot when it came out was how it only came out, I think, with, like, 10 maps or something like that. Like, it came out with a very small number of maps to the point where they then had a padded, they literally padded it with Winter Carrington. Carrington was a bonus for everybody, and then they made Winter Carrington to kind of sneak in there with the winter stuff, and that's it. And they had to pad it with shipment to get you to 12. And that's kind of where the base game, I think, is at right now. And now with obviously the DLCs, whatever, they added 3 in each, 3 DLCs, 9, all of a sudden you got 21. All of a sudden you got like yourself a solid rotation. I think Black Ops 4 is pretty paramount, and it'll be important for that game's success to come out of the gate. Maybe not 18. 18's a lot, but you at least got to come out with 16 maps, man. 16 maps, 10 new ones, 6 old ones, new ones hopefully hot, join into the classics. Beast.